Sit down. Shut up. Today we're talking about the worst gaming community. Now, I don't really know where to start with this, other than that, if you play video games, you've probably come across absolutely heinous people. As someone who plays video games myself, I've played with some of the worst to ever do it, alright? I mean, I'm talking... I would call it a gore video, but it was actually just a dick pic. And it's just... That's just the beginning. That's just scratching the surface of how horrible people in gaming are. They're terrible across the board. They're never fun. They always have, like, problems. They're always mentally ill. I don't know why video games attract mentally ill people. It's just a thing that happens all the time. Now, the way I'm going to be ranking the worst gaming communities is I'm going to be going off the overall level of toxicity. As most gaming communities have some degree of toxicity, I'm going for, obviously, the worst kinds, and, like, what kind of toxicity are we talking about, right? Is it just people who are just like, you know what? You suck. For example, Minecraft, right? If you start a world with randoms, chances are your house is getting burned down at least once a day, right? There's not much you can do about that. That's just Minecraft. But there's other games that, you know, I think they take it a step further, right? You know what I mean. You know what I mean. We'll get there. We'll talk about it. Now, when it comes to toxic gaming communities, I think we're all a little bit guilty of that, honestly. For example, just the other day, after a match of Marvel Rivals, I simply texted in the chat, "Y'all sound heavy," and then left. I don't regret it. I'm sorry. I don't. We won, even. We won, and they were still talking shit. I had to let them know that's not acceptable. Okay, so I called them heavy. Alright, what are you gonna do about it? Now, what I find really funny about toxicity in games, especially in the modern time, right? You know, we're all familiar with, like, OG Call of Duty lobbies. The game ends, everybody's talking shit, it's incoherent, you can't, you know what I mean? It's not like we're passing the stick around, taking turns talking shit. It's just everybody yelling at everybody, and that's just the game. There's not much you can do about that. However, game companies have noticed this, and of course, to try and grow their player base and keep people playing the game, they try to limit the toxicity, right? They throw out some voice chat bans, some text chat bans. They limit the words that you can say, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't do anything. In my opinion, I think all it does is allow haters to get more creative with their hatefulness. Who knew there were so many different ways to spell the N-word, right? Like, the 1 makes an I, the 9s are G's, the 3, you get the point. Now, I had mentioned that many games threaten banning players. I'm sure, as we're all aware, this does nothing. This does literally nothing, right? For example, I'm 2 more bans away from losing my PlayStation account. Now, obviously, I can't explain why, otherwise I might now lose my YouTube account. So, just trust me. Look, I'm better, okay? I'm getting there. Look, I've been a gamer for a long time, okay? Now, of course, there's a plethora of communities to choose from. These are my favorites. So in our 4th place spot, I gotta say, I'm just gonna throw all the first-person shooters together and just slap them in 4th place. And I'm sure for saying that all the communities are basically the same, I'd probably get flamed for that. Probably will get flamed for that. It is what it is. But it's true. If something about games with guns and shooting people just attracts the most horrendous, vile people on the planet. Whether it's Halo, Call of Duty, I'm sure even Gears of War had this issue. Just absolute psychopaths. Before the game even starts, these people got something up their ass. Now, I played Call of Duty for way too long. For example, my first encounter with one of these tards was on Black Ops 1. Like, back in the day, Black Ops 1. As I'm sure nobody is surprised to hear. And this guy, I don't know what his problem was. He was like one of the only... It wasn't even like a full lobby of people talking. It was just like me, my friend. I was in maybe middle school at the time. And this dude just had a problem with everybody. He was just roasting people's gamer tags. The way people sounded, the type of guns people were using, and he didn't even do that good. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he was top whatever in his lobby, but I mean, like, you know what I mean? The guy dropped like fucking 15 kills tops. You know what I mean? The whole lobby was kind of trash. And being a young lad, I don't know how to respond to this. I don't know what you know what I mean? I'm just like, what? Why is this guy making fun? He doesn't even know who I am. And the best I can come up with is he's probably just upset that he has to make other people's Big Macs all day. Now, I want to take a moment to say I apologize for insulting McDonald's workers like that. You guys are worth way more than that fucking loser will ever be. And I don't know what happened to that guy. I imagine nothing. I imagine he got nowhere and is probably still talking crap in Call of Duty to this day. Siege, Rainbow Six Siege. Now I think it's a little bit better, but when that game first came out, bro, they had no respect. No respect for anybody. I got kicked from a game for picking the guy that puts the grenades in the wall. I thought that was cool. You just walk up to a wall, put the thing in there and shoots grenades in there, and I was getting kills like that. I thought that was fine. These people didn't think so. I got kicked from the lobby for picking that guy. There's even I've heard that there's a website for Team Fortress 2 that keeps track of which player has thrown out the most slurs in chat. And I don't know who's top, but that tells you everything you need to know about, you know, Team Fortress 2 and the overall player base. Now, actually, I will explain one of the main reasons that I'm putting all these first-person shooters in the 4th place spot is because you can avoid a good chunk of this by just pressing the mute button. Like, I don't know if all the Call of Duties had this option, but once I figured out that you go into the settings, you just hit mute everybody but party, life's been a little bit more chill. You know what I mean? Like, you don't gotta talk to them, they don't talk to you. And honestly, to me, it's a bit satisfying knowing that they're probably just yelling at nobody. Like, they can talk all the shit they want. It's just a brick wall, bro. You're not doing anything. I'm fine. You are the one with the problem. Now, this 3rd place spot is another game I've got over 1,000 hours in, I think, all together across Xbox, PlayStation. It's gotta be Dead by Daylight. Anybody who plays Dead by Daylight, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Since the game's launch, it has had nothing but just the most insufferable player base, okay? Everybody, whether you're a killer main or a survivor main, just thinks they're the victim all the time. It doesn't matter if you're winning, if you're losing, if you're good at the game, bad at the game, everybody's a victim, okay? Now, let me tell you, as somebody who played Dead by Daylight very heavily back in the day, I don't play as much anymore, killers were definitely the victims. The amount of bullying you could do in that game to killers, holy crap. There were maps where the killer would jump off of something, and if you were standing underneath it, they were just stuck there. There was just nothing they could do. You just stood there, they couldn't move, they for some reason couldn't hit directly down, which didn't make any sense, and that was it. That was it. The worst part about the Dead by Daylight community isn't even the community itself, it's the dev team. The dev team is atrocious. They don't know what they're doing. In my personal opinion, they have no idea why their game is popular. They seriously, they have no clue. They just look at stats and they're like, this is good, we're making money, I guess we're just going to keep doing this for now. It's not as bad as it used to be. The dev team, I'll admit, has done at least somewhat of a decent job at making the game a little bit less insufferable in terms of killers hitting them down on the ground, just leaving them there, not even putting them on a hook. At least every 3rd match is probably going to be you just staring at a white screen 90% of the time, just getting flashbanged and flashlight in the face all day. Now, if you haven't played the game, I'd recommend watching like Quiet Kills. He's a great example of everything. Not him personally, but the content that he makes on Dead by Daylight is like a perfect example of what I mean. People leave the second they start losing, or they just don't even bother playing objective and just want to bully people. And then on top of all that, they'll sit in in-game chat and just play the victim the entire time. No matter how bad they did, you're just arguing with, like, it's just rage bait. The whole game is just rage bait. Since it first came out, it was the original rage bait, that Dead by Daylight. I could go on for hours about how fucking toxic and horrible Dead by Daylight has been and probably will continue to be. But I'm just going to leave it at that. Now, the second one, it's honestly hilarious considering the game's only been out for a year at this point. But I gotta give second place to Marvel Rivals. And the reason I'm giving it to Marvel Rivals is because it's like, how do you become so miserable in just a year? Just a year of a game's existence, and you're already some of the most miserable players I've ever come across in my entire life. First of all, I've only been playing for maybe 2 months at this point, and yeah, it sucks because I've never played hero shooters before. I'm learning, okay? I'm getting there. They don't want you to learn. They want you to already know what you're doing. And here's the thing. here's the thing. This is on PlayStation, okay? I'm grinding on PlayStation. So when somebody types up a paragraph of insults for me, I know that they are literally actively taking time out of the game. Not just like a quick, like 5 seconds, like 30 to maybe even a minute to type just nonsense, just garbage. Just play the game, please. We could be winning and people are still talking shit. It's so bad. If you ban a character that they didn't want you to ban, they're throwing the game. They're sitting in spawn the whole game. So now you got a 5v6 a team. I mean, God, I don't even know where this is. Spider-Man. Why do so many people need to play Spider-Man? You know how rare it is to drop a good game as Spider-Man. The recent controversy of Kingsman and Zaza. The amount of people who need to pick Black Widow to like make a statement. Please just leave the game. That's more that I literally would be more proud of you for leaving the game, and I would have more respect for you for leaving the game than selecting Black Widow and going like freaking 9 and 20 or something. It's just, oh my god, I could go on for hours, especially since it's the game that I'm currently like actively grinding and I don't know why. I really shouldn't have started playing this game. Now for first place, personally, I don't have many experience, or actually no experience. I have no experience in this game, but I'm going to give it to League of Legends because every Reddit, anything that I came across regarding how insufferable player bases can be, League of Legends was at least top 3 in every single one. Now, I know some people who play League, and yeah, it's as bad as it sounds, right? All the worst things you can possibly imagine are being said. Crimes, threats, insults, colorful language, slurs. It goes on. Everything I've listed in the past 3 games multiplied times 10. I imagine it's just, you know, the game's been around forever. It's a PC game. PC players are sweaty tryhards. And what's funny is that I've also heard that the mobile version is just as bad. How the hell are you going tryhard in a mobile game to the point where you are throwing out slurs? Imagine, I would like to think some of these people also play Candy Crush on the side. Imagine a Candy Crush player throwing out the N-word every once in a while. That's wild. Anyways, that pretty much covers it. Long story short, you know, just remember the mute button's available. It brings me a peace of mind. I imagine it'll bring you guys a peace of mind. And, you know, overall, just try to be a more positive gamer. It's easy to get caught up in the moment and get pissed off at teammates. I throw out the R word maybe one too many times. I'm sorry. I'm working on it, okay? And I'm hoping you guys are too, and maybe together we can create a better, healthier community. Basically, just, you know, there's always going to be bad people, like just horrendous people playing games, whether it's Minecraft. It could be Roblox, right? Even Roblox, we know what kind of people are on Roblox. Technically, that's worse. Honestly, don't hop into ranked games. I'm saying this because I play Marvel Rivals. Stop hopping into ranked games and being there for the vibes. I know I said it. I'm sorry. I have to. Stop, bro. Please. I need to rank up. I need to. It's my only sense of purpose right now. And just remember, remember offline games exist. Remember, you can turn on, oh man, everything's a live service game now. You can turn on Doom. Go play Doom, right? Doom's a great game. That's the only game that's coming to mind. But you know what I mean, okay? Try therapy or something. And yeah. That's all I got. Have a good one, folks.